Jacob Rees-Mogg has put up an interesting video from GB News, and in it he starts by criticising Ursula von der Leyen and the ECJ, which he says has to have the final say over all EU law. And he suggests that Ulster will become a vassal state of the European Union. And although he recognises that Ries's agreement, the Windsor framework, offers superficial compromises about medicine and sausages. There's a lot about sausages in his speech. In fact, I think he's trying to be quite funny about sausages, which is entertaining. I mean, he is actually quite... He's quite funny. He's not at all as dry and dull as one might ordinarily suspect. He is genuinely quite funny. He talks about the sausage as opposed to the Neolithic age. And anyway, apart from medicine and sausages and VAT and excise duties and so on, he says there's not much of a deal there. Well, yeah, we've been through this. The deal will go ahead, he says. This is the warning that the ERG has been given. The deal will go ahead with or without the approval of the DUP. And so the question is there a revolt brewing in the ERG, which had a meeting this evening? And he doesn't give very much away except to say that they were addressed by the DUP. Now, an interesting point that he gives out is the fact that a sausage, you can buy a Lincolnshire sausage. Those are those chunky sausages from Spalding. You can buy a chunky Spalding sausage in Northern Ireland. Well, you will soon be able to if this deal goes through. But, and that would be made according to UK standards. But you cannot make and sell your own sausage in Northern Ireland except by conforming to EU standards. Again, I'm not quite sure how all the details of this works. I've heard dodgy and sort of nefarious claims about the detail both on alcohol in the shops and about sausages on the shelves in Northern Ireland, but I haven't been able to get absolute confirmation of these things. So I am literally passing on the tittle-tale from people like Jacob Rees-Mogg. My own feeling is that sausages and alcohol will be sorted out. This is a detail that needs to be ironed out. Rishi will iron out the sausages. And as for the ominous words of Barnier at the beginning of the negotiation period, yes, it shows that if it's true, there are people who say it's not true. But if it's true that Barnier was determined to make things difficult and to cause a problem in Northern Ireland, to put pressure on Britain in its negotiations over Brexit, if it's true, and there are certainly those people in government and recently who were in ministers, at least at the time of the Brexit referendum, and so I've heard this story a number of times. If it's true, yeah, it would put pressure on. If it's a fake story, it's certainly done the rounds. I think what is true is that there is a new spirit of cooperation between Britain and Europe, particularly because of the effort put in by Rishi Sunak to achieve that spirit of cooperation. And that is to be commended, and that is something positive. So, for example, we've got the scientific breakthrough and the restoration of cooperation between Britain and Europe in scientific endeavours, and I'm sure this will move on to a restoration of academic cooperation, and there will be other forms of cooperation. So playing positively is better than constantly carping and banging one's head against the wall in a Boris Johnson type, Jacob Rees-Mogg type of way. in the end, this hasn't got us anywhere. We need to be more conciliatory. We need to be more. We need to offer a more positive voice to Europe, and I think we should have done that from the very beginning, frankly.